So many of you are aware about the softwares. Uh, Many of you are used to CATIA, SolidWorks, Unigraphics, then AutoCAD. Basically, AutoCAD, every one of you know. So in that various commands are there. Move command is there, scaling command is there, object rotating command is there, like mirror is there, pattern commands are there. So in the we are going to learn the logic behind the those commands. Okay, what are the metrics? How the metrics will work? Okay, so in today's lecture we will cover the following topics. First one, why transformation. Second, transformations, types of transformations. There are scaling, translation transformation, scaling transformation, rotation type of transformation. Then sharing is also there. Then mirror transformation is also there. So there are basically five types of transformation we are going to learn. So then what is homogeneous coordinate system? Then matrix multiplications, then combining transformations. Okay, in this lecture we will going to cover these topics. So why transformation? Okay, in graphics, once we have an object described, transformation are used to move that object, scale it, and rotate it. Here you can see one object is there. Here the three coordinates x, y, z, three coordinate system is there. Here we are pointing one point. Suppose that is a point fx, fy, and fz. Hmm? So if you see here, first object and second object, we have translated this object to another position. Okay, so this is a translation transformation. Then you can see the size of object over here. We have done the scaling, means we have increased the size of the original object. That is, you can scale in, scale out. Okay, so means zoom in, zoom out. You can multiply the, means you have to you can increase the size of the object, or you can decrease the size of object. So it's called scaling. Hmm. Then rotating the object from about any axis is called rotation type of transformation. You can see if you want to rotate by angle of theta in clockwise or anti-clockwise, you can rotate about x-axis. So this is a see the objects, why transformation is needed to means moving the object from one position to another. Then for increasing the size of the object or decreasing the size of the object, scaling we will use. And if you want to rotate the object, rotation type of transfer. So simply moves an object from one position to another. This is called translation. Translation, you can call translation. Okay, so suppose the original position of the object over here. So suppose here x1 is there. Hmm? Suppose this position here coordinates are 0 0, and here the new coordinates are 4 4. Okay, so the new coordinates will be x new and y new will be 4 comma 4. So the translation value will be dx and dy value will be 4 4. Okay, means translating 4 units in x, translating 4 units in y direction. Okay, so how we will do, when you are finding a new position, x new is equal to x old plus dx, means change in x distance. Okay, then y new is equal to y old plus change in y distance. Okay, so that if you add, you will get x new and y new, the new coordinates of the object you can find out. So this is how translation transformation. Okay, one more example we can see here. An object is there, coordinate 1 1, and second coordinate 3 comma 1, and third coordinate is 2 comma 3. Okay, so this is a triangle over here. So if you want to translate it, you can translate it at home. Is you add tx is equal to 2, and ty is equal to 2. So add in this formula. Using this formula, you can find out the new position of this object. Just you have to decide the dx and dy value, means translation in x, translation in y value, means the translation values. You have to decide how many units you have to translate the object. Just add original position values of original coordinates over here, and then translation value, you will get the new coordinates of translated objects. Then scaling transformation matrix. The scalar multiplies all the coordinates. Okay. Uh, See, there are two types of scaling. One is called uniform scaling. One is called non-uniform scaling. Okay. Uniform scaling means scaling the object in x direction and y direction with values. Okay. And, Sx means scaling in x and Sy scaling in y should be equal. Then that type of scaling is called uniform scaling. If scaling value in x is not equal to scaling value in y, then that type of scaling is called non-uniform scaling. Okay. So how to find out the new coordinates of scaled objects? Okay. So this is the object over here. Here the coordinates is 2 1 and here 3 1. Okay. So if you take 3 into 2, so 3 into 2 6. So here value is 3. Similarly, here scaling in y, if you multiply 3 into 3, you will get 9. So the scaling value in y is 3. So first you have to decide by how much value you want to scale the object, and similar value multiply in x and similar value multiply in y. If you want to do the uniform scaling, the both values will be same. If you want to do non-uniform scaling, then this value will be different and this value will be different. This x direction you are scaling it by 2 and y direction you are scaling it by 3. So that is a non-uniform scaling. And using this formula, you can find out the new position of the scaled object. Okay. So this is the example. One object is given. Do a practice at home. You can multiply. Even take sx is equal to 2 and sy equal to 3. You do the scaling. First time I see the new coordinate. Find out the new position of the coordinates. Then again you take uniform scaling. 2 sx value and 2 sy value, and again do the transformation and find out the new coordinates using that formula, and again draw over your object. You can understand the difference between both the objects. Okay. Then rotation. Okay. Rotation transformation. Rotation transformation, what happens? You have to rotate all the coordinates by a specified angle. Okay. By a specified angle. So here what we are doing, see here the object has been rotated from this position to this position by an angle of is equal to pi by 60 means pi by 6 means 30 degree we have rotated this object. By 30 degree we have rotated this object. Okay, so here value of theta will be 30. Here value will be 30. So the formula for new coordinates will be x old into theta minus s old into sy y old into sin theta. Similarly, for finding the y coordinate, new coordinate of y, so it will be x old into sin theta plus y old into cos theta. Points are always rotated about the origin. This point is remembered. So the points are always rotated about the origin. Okay. When we will go through a composite transformation matrix, that time I will say you what is points are always rotated about the origin. Okay. For now, you just remember this formula x new and this one and this one. Later we will write down the matrix also for this. Using this formula, you can find out the new coordinates of rotated object. Okay. If you are going for anti-clockwise direction, my suggestion is take angle theta equal to positive. If you are rotating the object in clockwise direction, take angle theta is equal to minus 30 degree. If you are rotating this object from this position to this position, take theta is equal to minus 30. If you are rotating the object from this first position to this position in anti-clockwise direction, you take theta is equal to 30 degree, means positive. So this again here one object is there, so you can do practice at home using this multiply use this formula and find out the you decide angle theta value, you decide 30 degree 40 degree and rotate, find out new positions and calculate. Okay, then next is homogeneous coordinates. Okay, homogeneous coordinates. So this is a very important thing. Here you can see why it is important. A point xy can be rewritten in homogeneous coordinate as xh, sy, yh and h. This h value is nothing but the 1. You can consider this value as 1. Why we are writing all the matrices in homogeneous coordinate system? Can see you. See the homogeneous parameter h is a non-zero value such that s is equal to x is equal to xh upon h, y is equal to h upon h. For multiplication purpose we are using this. See, we can then write a point that x comma y as hx and hy comma h, and we can conveniently choose h equal to 1 so that xy x comma y becomes x comma y comma 1. See, why homogeneous coordinates? The mathematicians commonly use homogeneous coordinates as they allow the scaling factor to be removed from equations. Okay, earlier we have seen the scaling formula, then we have seen the translation formula, and then rotation formula. So to form a homogeneous matrix and form that equation to remove that scaling factors from the equations. So we are converting that equations into homogeneous system. So we will use in a moment that all of the transformations we discussed previously can be represented as 3 into 3 matrix. See, we want to define that all three form equations into 3 into 3 matrices. So for that we are converting the equations. So using homogeneous coordinate allow us to use matrix multiplication to calculate the transformation extremely efficient. Okay, for that purpose we are converting that equations to homogeneous coordinate systems. See here, the translation, homogeneous translation matrix. You can note down this formula as a translation transformation matrix. This one. Later for solving the numericals, we will use this as a translation transformation matrix. So earlier we have seen dx and dy. Dx was the translation value in x and dy was the translation value in y. Okay. So if you see the formula, how we are written 1 0 dx 0 1 dy 0 0 1. So this will be the matrix translation transformation matrix, you can say. Okay. And representing the point as a homogeneous column vector, we perform the calculations as like this. See this matrix into original position, you will get the new position. Here the matrix multiplication is there. First column into row, second column into row, plus again third column into row, third row into column. Okay, so 1 into x plus 0 into y plus dx into, so first row you will get, then this row into this column, this value you will get, and again the third row into this column you will get this value. Okay, after solving this we can find out that x plus dy, x plus dx, y plus dy, and 1. So this is how the matrix multiplication you have to do. Okay, so here these two values will be the translation values, and this will be the original coordinate of that uh, vertices, and this will be the new coordinates of vertices you will get. So you have to remember this translation transformation matrix. Then, so matrix multiplication, most of you are aware about this, and you have learned this also, so nothing new in that. So just how matrix multiplication occurs. First value, see, row into column, then second row into column, then third row into column. So first value into x plus b into y plus c into z, so you will get this value. Then second row into column, d into x plus e into y plus f into z, you will get this value. Then third row into column, g into x plus h into y plus I into z, you will get this value. Like that, the matrix multiplication. Just for getting, remember that you have learned this already. Okay, then as earlier I said you, the translation matrix. Then similarly we have written here scaling matrix. Scaling matrix, see here, sx 0 0 0 sy 0 0 0 1. If you multiply with original coordinates, you will get this is a scaling factor in x, this is a scaling factor in y. This value will be just for homogeneous coordinate system balancing, we are using it. So the third value, the third row answer, how every time it will be 1 only. Okay, so the main here, the scaling matrix, this matrix we have written from the equation itself. Then rotation matrix, see, cos theta sin theta 0, sin theta cos theta 0 0 0 1. So this will be your original coordinate system, original coordinates of vertices, into, you will, after multiplication with the rotation matrix, you will get the new coordinates of rotation, rotated vertex. Okay, so here for rotation transformation matrix, you have to remember cos theta minus sin theta 0, sin cos theta 0 0 0 1. So for rotating any object, you have to use this matrix. So earlier we have seen translation, scaling, and rotation. Okay, so this is inverse transformation. Inverse transformation means once translation, first from first position to second position we have moved the object, then again we have to move it back to its original position, means in reverse direction. In reverse direction, so that time, in reverse direction, that time what you have to do, you have to take the dx value and dy value minus direction. Earlier we have taken it as positive when we are moving from first position to another position, so we are taking it in a positive. When you have to take it back, means you have to reverse it, you have to take these values as negative. There, that is only the difference. Scaling, if you are multiplying it by 2, it will get, object size will get double. If divided by 2, the object size will get half. So this is how 1 by sx, 1 by sy, like that. Similarly, as I said, we are taking here cos theta minus sin theta, minus sin theta cos theta. Earlier we have taken cos theta minus theta, sin theta cos theta. Here the sign has been interchanged, you can see. Now here when reversing, minus sign is over here, earlier minus sign was here. So better you can do one thing, just you have to for anti-clockwise direction, take theta is equal to positive, and clockwise direction theta is equal to negative, and you can use that earlier formula only, cos theta minus sin theta cos theta, nothing will be different. Okay, then combining transformation. See, is called as combining transformation is called as composite transformation, or you can say as concatenated transformation matrix. Okay, in short I can say ct we have to find out, ct matrix you have to find out. It is combining transformation, you can say composite transformation, you can say, or concatenated transformation matrix, you can say. So the number of transformations can be combined into a one matrix to make things easy, allowed by the fact that we use homogeneous coordinates. Imagine rotating a polygon. See now, imagine rotating a polygon around a point other than the origin. Okay, transform. See, if you want to rotate the polygon, what you have to do? Transform it to a center point to origin, rotate around the origin, transform back to center point. Got? So earlier, while 2-3 slides back, I have said you that I will say you that what is fixing the position. Hmm? So whenever you have to rotate any object, you have to fix one point, and about that point you have to rotate it. Okay. See here, this is a first position. Suppose you have to rotate this object about this point or center point of this object. So by that much value, we have to translate this object earlier. Before we have to translate this object, we have to fix it to origin. Then we will use rotation matrix. Then again we will send it back to its original position. So this is how we have to do. Whenever we have to rotate the object, it cannot directly rotate it. We have to fix one point, then only we have to use the rotation matrix. Then we have to again, it's inverse translation we have to use. Okay, so directly multiplying the rotation matrix, we will not get the correct answer. So because we don't know for rotating any object, we have to fix one position. About that position only we have to rotate it. Okay, then so in this lecture we have taken look at 2D transformations. First one are translation, scaling, rotation, then homogeneous coordinate systems, then matrix multiplication, then combining transformation. Okay, next time we will go with the numericals also. So these are some examples you have to do practice at home. Okay, translate the shape below. So the coordinates are there. 1 2 3 4 coordinates are there. Just you have to use the translation matrix into original value of this, and then multiply it. The new value of this point you will get, you mark over here. Then again use translation matrix, you multiply these coordinates, it will get translated. Like that you have to do 4 operations. 4 times you have to multiply. For each point, for each coordinate, you have to use you have to multiply with the translation matrix, and you have to find out the new coordinate of that point. And all 4 values you will get. After that you plot it. Plot the object in this grid. Similarly, for this, what they have said, rotate the shape below by 30 degree about the origin. So we have to rotate this object about 30 degree about the origin. So what you have to do, you do one thing, you translate this -7 -1. So the translation value dy and dx value will be -7 -1. Okay, dy value will be -1. So this point will be fixed at origin. Then use rotation matrix theta is equal to 30 degree. Rotate this, then multiply with the inverse translation. That time your value will be again dx is equal to 7 and dy is equal to 1. So here three matrices will be involved. First will be translating the object to origin, then rotating, then inverse translation. So you will get a combined CT, combined transformation matrix you will get, and using that you have to multiply the new coordinates. So here like this, the translation matrix. So you do homework, you write down the translation matrix, scaling matrix and rotation matrix. And these are some numericals. So in this numerical it is said that rotation of the shape below by 45 degrees, you have to rotate this object by 45 degrees about its center phi 3. See here phi 3 center point is given. So what we have to do, we have to translate it by -5 -3, so it will be fixed over here. So first transformation matrix, first translation matrix, then rotation matrix, again inverse rotation matrix, you will get the combined matrix. So from that combined, you have to multiply the old coordinates, then you will get the new coordinates. Okay. In next lecture, you try to attempt this. If you are not getting, so in next lecture we will solve this numerical also. Okay. So these were some equations. Thank you.